Good afternoon, this is Dr. William Smith, and as we edge ever closer and closer to that window of time where we have to have our portfolios completed, again, that date that I have to turn in the completed portfolio request is January 15th. Today's January 5th. I just want to make sure that we've exhausted every opportunity to be able to make sure that we all understand how we need to complete this process. I know that this is at the end of many of your programs, and it's just one last hurdle, so we're going down the home stretch. I just wanted to take a couple suggestions from some learners who said that we asked these questions. Maybe you can cover them like the prior webinars, but maybe Portfolio Completion 101. So let's roll it back just a little bit and see if we can complete this this little bit of training piece. So what I've done here to help prepare you for this little presentation, some of you have probably gone way past this, but for some this might be beneficial. I just want you to know that this is, I've logged in like a student would log into the Epic portfolio. I just want to share with you some key points very quickly so that you can understand how this works. And again, for those of you that have completed all of your coursework, your deadline is January 15th, or you'll have to take an additional course, which is the time extension to complete your portfolio. If you've not completed all of your courses for your program, you're not going to hit this window, so that it's not really a high risk situation. So, but again, for those of you that have completed all of your courses or will have them completed by January 15th, you need to also have your portfolio completed by January 15th, or you'll have an extension, and we want to avoid that. So let's take a look at where we're at, and I'm going to just simply navigate this piece. So the first and most important piece is understanding your internship guide. Before anything can happen good for you in this process, is you need to understand the internship guide. And again, most questions that have come to me, I've been able to revert students back to the internship guide, and that's clearly been able to define what their challenges were. So again, read the internship guide as detailed as possible. I oftentimes download it to my computer. I put it on a thumb drive so I have access to it, so I don't need to be online to be able to review it. So internship guide, number one thing. Next, these three things are critical. First, you need to make sure that you've completed your intern, mentor, supervisor information form. Technically, nothing can be submitted until that form's completed. Now, that form looks like this. Simple as this. You work collaboratively with your mentor, fill in all of the information, make sure that your mentor is part of this process, and then in this box right here, you have to enter the timestamp. And I'm going to go through again real quick to show you how the timestamp piece works. So I sent myself what would be a little fake email. I'm going to open this email. I'm going to print this email into, let's go print. I'm going to print it in a PDF. Press OK. That's going to pop up here. Let's just go memo style. We'll just save it like that. Again, as this completes, this would be the memo. Here is the timestamp. So what we will do here is we're going to go to the snapshot tool. We're just going to get this piece right there. We're going to copy that. Now see this part here? That's the actual email timestamp. So we're going to close that. We're going to copy it. We're going to shut that baby down. Close this. We're going to go right into this box. Press paste. And there it is. I'm going to press save. Save as desktop. Sample. We'll save it there. Close that out. And now I know when I want to upload that, I can upload it just by doing this. I click right here. This will pop up. I'm going to open, and I'll be able to attach that document right in here. Okay? And that's basically how that will work. If you have any challenges, complete the document, email it to me, and I can make sure that it's all set. Okay? So that's the first piece that has to be done. As you progress through your program, you continually get feedback. When you reach the 60 credit hour point, you need to get the interim piece completed. So I'm at this point. I click open. I'm going to open this. I'm going to get this file. I'm going to save this file. I'm going to make sure that my mentor gets a chance to be able to work with me to evaluate my performance through this. Evaluate, 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 and then when the mentor agrees that this is reflective of my work, I get the email, I paste it into that box, I save it, and then again I have the timestamp completed. Okay? So I follow that same process. Now, when I'm nearing my end, in other words, I've gotten my 120 hours done. Okay? And for some of you, as you go through this, again, each portfolio, artifact, and activity, whether it's an extension activity or an open activity, is worth 12 hours. Okay? Doesn't matter if you work 36 hours on completing it, it's 12 hours in the audit process. You need to complete 120, therefore 10 courses need to be submitted with an artifact and an open or extension activity. Okay? So when I get to that 60 hour mark, I complete the interim feedback form. When I get to the end, I complete the final feedback form. So let's go here, open it up, same process as before. Open, work collaboratively with my mentor, complete this chart collaboratively, my candidate's reflections, so forth, mentor's confirmation email that the mentor is signing off on the completion of the task, just like we've done in the past. Paste that piece in there. It's not the same timestamp, it's the actual timestamp when it's completed. So some learners have just copied the same timestamp over and over again, and that does not work. So it has to be, it's critical because this shows to your audit, person who's completing your audit, it shows that the mentor has been on board throughout the process. Okay? And the timestamp is what will do that. So let's kill this baby out. Now, okay, now some questions have come about as to, hey, what do I do? Well, look at portfolio activities. I go through each of these. These are courses that I would take within my program, and if I were to click on one of these, and there's my artifact page, my extension activity, and here's my template. Now I just simply complete this as required. Name, date. Complete as required and necessary in support of and collaboration with my mentor. Most of it tells you the defined minimum standards. You link the standards together that you and your mentor then can work on and believe that your activity will comply with. Complete this, save it, submit it. Now, what you'll get back from me is feedback that says you did a good job, and you will get 12 hours as soon as you complete your artifact. The artifact is simply submitted. You go through this process, you submit the artifact, you attach it here. When you attach the artifact could be a PowerPoint that was used authentic within the extension activity. It could be an agenda. It could be anything that shows that the task was completed. Okay? And you would go about doing that same process. Let's roll this baby back here a little bit. You would do that process until you've completed 120 hours. Okay? And again, once you've completed the 120 hours, you complete your final feedback form. You get this final feedback form done. You submit it to me. I review to make sure all of your 120 hours are completed, all the timestamps are correct. Then I submit this to ACE for their audit. It's audited. If there's no problems, you're off, you're done. You've ventured into a new world. If there are some problems, then I will send it back to you, it being whatever the issues were, with some clarity, and have you redo certain areas. Okay? Audits oftentimes have a couple tweaks here and there before they're done. So what I want to make sure that you're aware of is that these are the steps necessary to be able to complete this process. They're not that complicated once you get an understanding. But the key and refresher to understand what you need to do is to make sure that the first thing, you review the internship guide. Second, you make sure that you have your intern and mentor supervisor information form completed with appropriate timestamp. Then you complete within your program 10 open or extension activities and submit both the completed form template and an artifact that supports it. Once you've gotten 60 hours worth of that or near that, you complete the interim feedback form. Then you complete the remainder of your courses and submit the final feedback form, each of which would have a timestamp. And folks, that's what the portfolio completion piece is. I apologize if I lowered this down and it was a waste of your time. I hope it's not. I hope that this is a useful tool for you. And again, if ever you need any assistance, you can email me, you can call me, you can register with me through Skype. I can be reached, although I don't usually use Twitter as a communication tool, but some of you might. And we can pretty much get together whenever you think is available. What I ask is that if you do need to get a hold of me, and we need to have a Skype conference or a phone conference, send me a couple dates and times. I'll put it on a calendar and make sure I'm available when you have time available. That way we can avoid phone tag. I hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful week, and I look forward to helping you complete your portfolios. For those of you that are nearing the end, let's get that thing done by January 15th. The deadline for me is January 15th. Anything after January 15th, you'd have to be part of that next cohort, and that's not beneficial for you. So I appreciate your time, and I look forward to working with all of you. Have yourself a great day.